Willie, do you stay or you want to hit? As the title of this video hints, for the last trip of 2022, we visited Haunted Hill House located in Mineral Wells, Texas. This is definitely an interesting location compared to most we have visited up till now. This house has a history of 50% of its guests not making it through the night. So a little bit about Haunted Hill House. At one time it had a direct link to the Baker Hotel located adjacent to it. It served as a brothel supplying working girls in bootleg for the hotel itself. First impression of it, well, that began at home while I was researching this place. We've seen videos with everything from past guests being scratched, a girl being yanked off a bed, and even a person taking a selfie with the demon. While booking it, I originally had planned it just to be Melanie and I for the overnight investigation. But after doing some research, that changed pretty quickly. The owner even told me, yeah, I'm glad you rethought that because y'all two would have never made it through the night by yourself. Now, usually I take that as a challenge, but since I don't know a lot about the house and I didn't want to end up biting off more than I can handle for the sake of my ego, we went ahead and made some adjustments to our number count for the night at the house. So, Melanie, what is your first impression of the house?
Well, we're sitting at home and we're in like regular vacation planning mode. And Willie just looks at me and he goes, well, the Haunted Hill House is only 3 hours from your parents. So I was like, okay, cool, let's go. And then he started showing me the videos. And we watched multiple videos, and I just remember thinking, like, oh my god, what did we do? Okay, so we drive into this little town and we find our way. And we're a little bit early, so we end up parking across the street from the house. We're like parking across the street from the house. We're like a block away, directly facing the house. And I remember just looking at this house and it just radiates this sinister vibe. Oh my gosh. It definitely didn't have that welcome y'all kind of feeling. Like,
No.
and then like looking at that house, I was like so glad we had my son and his girlfriend come with us. That like helped with the fear a little bit.
Yeah. Man, I mean, there was a lot of things working against us going into it, so that definitely helped out a lot, having another couple with us for the night. So my first impression of walking into Haunted Hill House. Now, it's very deceiving because you kind of get this vibe that you're possibly going to some type of haunted slash funhouse attraction, but you would be sadly mistaken to believe that. And that's only because based off of past guest experiences, and if you didn't know that history ahead of time, you would have that impression going in. But it's about the farthest you could be from any haunted or funhouse attraction. Initially, as a first-time guest, you'll be given a 3.5 to 4 hour tour. During this tour, the owner will take you through the place room by room and give you a detailed history of the room and the artifacts within the rooms. Now, also during that time, you also get a chance to meet all the entities that will be keeping you company for the night.
As for the tour, I really enjoyed the tour. It was very interesting and very detailed. And as for us, we are huge history fans and we love to hear the history about places that we're staying. And hearing the stories, it just added to the whole enigma and darkness of the house.
So for the layout of the house, it goes as followed, but again, this is in no particular order. This is just the way I remembered the rooms and which one I came to first. So you have the carousel room. If you have a phobia of creepy dolls, especially ones hanging from a ceiling, you may want to stay away from this room.
Oh, this room was my favorite. I love old toys. I don't care if they're hanging from a ceiling or not. I thought this room was cool.
Yeah, I mean, it has that little creepy vibe to it, but nothing that's over the top.
It does.
Next, you come to the axe room. The owners have had most of their paranormal activity in this room when they used to live in the house themselves. What do you think for the night? Did we have anything crazy happen in the axe room?
No, not in the axe room. It looked kind of comfy. It was like one of those you're like, maybe I'll sleep in that bed tonight.
Yes.
Maybe not.
And it's funny you point that out because I do think the Axe room is kind of deceiving because you go in there, the bed's real elaborate, you have all the dolls around
Yeah.
the room itself.
It's got pretty things
Yeah.
in
So it gives you a very comfortable, deceiving feel if you were to try to take a nap in that room for the
there.
night.
Yes.
Then there's Jacob's room. Now, this room, on the other hand, because we have seen videos ahead of time with things happening in this room. So this is the one that I was telling you about where the girl got yanked off the bed. So initially, when you go into this room, there's this creepy nurse that's in the corner, this big 6 foot tall nurse wearing one of the old outfits. And you just get that eerie feeling. And a lot of it's just because, sometimes you do too much research, it can kind of mess with you for the night. I already knew when I look at the bed, I know what happened there. And that kind of played a little bit, on my nerves for the night.
Yeah, and then Zach just like lays on the bed.
Where you at, Doc?
He only likes to pick on girls.
Here, Karina.
Nope.
Next, you have the Priscilla Blair room. Now, this one is not attached directly to the house. You have to go outside and go across this little walkway and to another area. Now, it used to be a screened-in porch, I think, back in the day, but they've renovated it and turned it into a room. The owner was telling us stories about she had a paranormal experience out there where I think she was out there taking a break, and I think a blue barrel flew at her, and at that time, it really kind of woke her up and made her a believer also with this house. Then the passage room. There's a black scrying mirror in here where you can partake in some scrying activities in your free time. The scratcher room. Now, this is where we played blackjack with Willie, no relation. We spent probably the remaining or the last part of the night in there before we went ahead and packed it up and got out of there. Then you come to the side bathroom. Now, this bathroom has a lot of history to it. One thing that happened with this bathroom was when the owners purchased this house, that bathroom was walled up. And I'm not meaning that there was it was boarded up with, it was totally walled up. There was no way to get into that bathroom, whether he was on the interior or the exterior of the house. So you could see it from the outside. There was a window there that you could look in and know that there was a bathroom in there, but you didn't have access to it. Now, the history goes with this bathroom. There was a certain incident that happened in here that involved 2 people, and obviously you can see by looking at the remnants on the wall and what was used to make that happen. So we'll just leave it at that. But yeah, that room has a lot of history to it. I spent a little time in there chilling out for the night.
I can't believe that you did that.
Then you go to the second floor, you have Emily, Joshua, Bootleg, and Toby's room. Now, Toby's the residential demon. That's his room. He's pretty much on site all the time, known for scratching people and a little bit of the growling noises whenever he talks. So we got some examples of what he sounds like when he talks.
When you look at it on the camera down. When you look at it on the camera down.
And as you can see, if you're not paying attention, you may not hear it. So it may be something you have to go back and hear later on. But the owners are really good about, they videotape everything in all the rooms. So if they hear something that was said in reference to your guests or you visiting for the night, they'll definitely let you know. For us, first order of business, once our tour was complete, it was time to go into investigative mode. Now, because of all the research we've done on this place, and because of there being so many different entities and so many haunted artifacts in this house, we knew that we would never know exactly who or what we were talking to. So it kind of changed our plan up on what we normally do when we do our investigations. And we kind of just went with the flow of it.
Yeah, we were all over everywhere.
With that being said, we figured we would start out by staying together as a group for the initial walkthrough of the house so we could check out each room one by one. And once we got familiar with it, then we would go ahead and split up in our separate groups. We started with the common areas, which is downstairs.
Can we go in the carousel room? That means yes. So we go in?
Yep, let's do it.
Yes, let's go in the carousel room. You can come in the room with us. Can you show us the dolls? come over by the trike? Can you come in here over by the trike? Thank you.
Is that Pee Wee Herman on the bike?
That looks like Pee Wee Herman on the bike. These dolls are pretty cool. Do you like the dolls? Can you move away from the lights? Can you move away? Move away from, thank you. Can you move away from those lights? Can you move away from that? Move away from the bike? Is there a little girl in here? We heard that this carousel, is it Joshua's carousel or Jacob's carousel? Is this Joshua's carousel? Can you show us the carousel? Can you come over here and show us the carousel? Will you come over here and show us the carousel, please? I'd like to see the carousel. Maybe you should teach Zach a lesson. Do you want to teach Zach a lesson? Do you like Zach? Do you want to scratch him? Do you want to hit him? Can you touch the light to say hi? Make the lights go off so you can say hi to us. Hi. Thank you for saying hi. We're glad to meet you. Thank you for welcoming us in your home. Is it okay if we look around? If it's okay to look around, will you touch the light again? Thank you. We'll be very careful. We won't mess anything up. Thank you for welcoming us. Pretty good, huh? What do you want me to say?
No, that's fine now.
Were you the one talking to me from the room earlier tonight? Yes? I heard you talking. That was pretty cool. Thank you for talking to me. Do you want... Can we talk to you again later? We'll come back and talk to you later. Is that okay?
Make the rocking horse go off.
Thank you. We'll be back later to talk to you.
So after we finished downstairs on the first floor, we decided it was time to head up to the second floor. But Zach volunteered to take charge and lead us in the second part of the investigation.
Yeah.
Very fondly.
Where's that?
Going straight. What are you?
Want the flashlight?
You want something on your field?
Yeah, rocking the horse is right there.
Can you make the rocking horse go off? Toby, activate the rocking horse.
Oh, that's stuck to my foot?
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
wow.
Did you get him jumping back? You didn't want to get too close to that. There's something back there.
There's something back there?
There's something back there. We just heard something. Like chattering. Something back there? Hello?
And we're sorry that you could hear that static noise in the background. Well, that's this SB7 box or a version of it. It's probably the biggest one I've ever seen, like on steroids, and it's located upstairs on the second floor. And this can be heard throughout the entire house.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to enhance the activity and the communication with the entities that are in the house.
Mhm.
So as the night progressed, it started getting late or early in the morning. Around 3 a.m. or so, the other group decided to take a break and get some Z's. And Melanie and I went ahead and started part 2 of our investigation, where we went upstairs and started trying to communicate again with the entities in the house.
Can you tell me my name? Can you say my name? Do you know who I am? Can you say his name? Emma. His name is not Emma. Can someone say my name? Do you know my name? Do you know where I work? Where do I work? The attic.
The attic?
The attic. We are in the attic. We are in the attic, but where do I work? Is Joshua here? Alice. Alice is here? Is your name Alice? If your name is Alice, can you make the light go off? Touch the antenna like this. Make that light go off if your name is Alice. You heard us.
Then lastly, to finish the night off, Melanie and I decided to retire to the scratcher room to play cards with Willie. So this was around 5:30 or so in the morning. So at this time we're a little tired, but we just figured, yeah, just figured we'll finish the night off down there playing cards. Overall experience, well, mileage will vary depending on when you go, who you go with, and just what type of mood the house is in. But overall for us, I mean, I could say as the night went on or as the time progressed, we started getting more comfortable
Yes,
in
definitely.
the house. And that could be a bad thing. That could be very deceiving, but we started getting to our normal routine of what we do when we conduct investigations and so forth. It gave us a little bit of time to kind of relax and do things at a slower pace. And we kept going back upstairs, trying to communicate more versus when we first got to the house where we were kind of stuck together as a group because we really didn't know what to expect.
We were scared.
Now, the big question is, would we do it again?
Definitely.
Yes. Would do it again. Would definitely do some things different the second time around.
Right.
I know we kind of talked about it afterwards when we were on our way back home. You know, we would kind of go in there with our own plan. We would conduct our investigation and do it the way that we do it and kind of eliminate some of the distractions that the house itself brings to you. Because when you get there, again, it's a lot to take in.
Oh, it's overwhelming.
Yeah. And that's what it was like for us. So we would definitely go in there more focused and just start doing our stuff the way we do it in chronological order. So that's the only thing I would do different. I don't think there's ever going to be a person that go into this house and say that they left without any paranormal experience.
Yeah.
The only way, I mean, if that was possible, it was either, I don't know, you're not a believer or you just kind of go in there in a negative mood. I don't know. But for us, you know, we kind of go into every situation open-minded. You know, we're hoping for something, you know, but not too much, but just,
Yeah, not too much.
but yeah, just enough to get a little bit of an experience and be able to talk about it later on. So in closing, I would say my advice to anyone that want to check out Haunted Hill House located in Mineral Wells, Texas, I would say go into it with an open mind and just make yourself open for the communication and try to establish that dialogue or that rapport with the entities that are there. So that way you can have a pretty good visit.
Yeah.